Blazing a trail to the March of Dimes party at the White House, film stars Van Johnson and Gene Kelly give little Margaret O'Brien a sleigh ride through the freshly fallen snows blanketing the nation's capital. They join the Truman family to promote a great cause while honoring the memory of Franklin D. Roosevelt.
The fight to conquer infantile paralysis is an unfinished task of Franklin Delano Roosevelt. It must and shall be carried to complete victory.
Mrs. Truman takes over for the first time the cake-cutting ceremony so often performed by Mrs. Roosevelt. And as the party comes to an end, we know they'd like to thank you for helping make this year's drive a success.
It's beyond my ken how you could have come home without him.
He had left the office before I got there.
Were you late?
I was early.
Thank you. Thank you. Goodbye. He's not at the country club either. Time to call the police.
Good evening, all.
Good evening.
Where have you been?
Nowhere. I walked home
Why?
because I haven't done it in 15 years. Because I wanted to see if I could. And as it turns out, I can, and I did. Or rather, I did, and so it turns out I can. And I can see why the president walks, too. Truman may not know beans about running the country, but he knows the value of a good constitutional.
We were beside ourselves with worry.
Well, you shouldn't have been.
Are you hungry, Mr. Sloan? I kept a plate warm for
I
you.
suppose you think because I took a little walk, I'm weak from hunger. I need to take a nap. I need to have my heart examined.
No, heart needs examining.
Well, I may be approaching 50, but for your information, this old man is just fine, thank you.
You're not. Oh. Your birthday is coming.
Is it?
But there's no need to pretend that you don't know it's Thursday because, Michael, I assure you, no one considers a man in his 40s old. I should say not.
Absolutely not.
48 is still young.
I'll be 49.
And who could tell by looking?
No one, not a soul. Why, you look like a man who's not as old as you are.
Be that as it may, there are those who seem to think I'm ready to be put out to pasture.
Oh, nonsense.
I was at the corner of Hart and Mentor Avenue when a Cub Scout had the nerve to approach me and offer to help me across the street. I had half a mind to tear off his little badges.
The boy was probably nearsighted. I've never seen him like this. All the more reason to make his birthday party the best possible, Gloria. Can you bake the cake at your restaurant so he won't get suspicious?
Yes, ma'am. I'd be glad to.
Thank you. And Abe, before you leave tonight, please adjust the bathroom scale. 8 pounds, no, 10 pounds to the light side.
I'll do it now.
Don't let Mr. Sloan see you. And on Thursday, make sure that he doesn't see you when you deliver the cake to the roadhouse. That way the birthday party will be a complete surprise.
Thursday is my night off.
So take Wednesday off this week.
But my favorite program is on Thursday nights. I never miss it.
Well, we got a radio here.
Well, you can't hear yourself thinking here with that jukebox going. What's the emergency?
Teresa is sick, Katie's out of town, Metcalf isn't up to speed, and we got a birthday party scheduled.
I'll be sure to wear my party hat.
You got to accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, and latch on to the affirmative. Don't mess with Mr. In Between. You gotta spread joy up to the maximum. Bring gloom down to the minimum. Have faith or pandemonium, liable to walk upon the scene. To illustrate my last remark,
Jonah in the whale, Noah in the ark.
what did they do just when everything looked so dark? Man, they said you got to accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, and latch on to the affirmative. Don't mess with Mr. In Between. No, don't mess with Mr. In Between. No, don't mess with Mr. In Between. No, don't mess with Mr. between.
Someone keep an eye on the pudding and stir it every few minutes while I go up and feed the baby. Not like that.
Now, like what?
I was talking to Al. But iron the collar first so the body of the shirt doesn't wrinkle. Al, don't hack at the ice. Let the hot water melt it.
I'm not hacking. I'm assisting the hot water.
You'll break through the coil, I know, because Jeff broke through
did
it that way once before, and we can't afford a new freezing unit.
It seems to me my whole purpose in life is to be blamed for everything.
That's a useful purpose.
Jeff. I do hold you responsible for not getting those storm windows up before now.
I
Shame
told him
on
he
you,
better.
Nobody else did either. Don't I get any sympathy for having a sore leg?
Poor Jeff.
Poor Jeff's sore leg doesn't keep him from dating. Charlie, I asked you to take the rest of this chicken over to Mrs. Seneff. Now it'll go bad.
Oh, sorry, Miss Kay, I forgot. I'll pay for it.
Paying for it is beside the point. When I think of the number of hungry people in the world...
Give him a loaf of Jeff's bread. There's enough of it.
You still haven't found your own baseball card?
He bought 6 loaves today before he found out that they weren't putting the cards in until next season.
I can't believe you're making jokes about hunger.
We're not joking about hunger, Ann. We're just joking.
I fail to see the humor.
Because you're tired.
Of course I'm tired. I'm the only one that takes any time to do anything right around here. Apparently, I'm the only one that takes anything seriously.
Please don't rub your lip that way, Abel.
Please don't what?
Every time you do like this, I see your father.
Oh, is this today's paper?
Yes.
Oh, could I have it when you finish?
I'm through. Every time I do this.
Oh, please don't do that. You remind me of your father when you do that.
This?
Yes, stop.
Your father did that way constantly after his mind went.
That's right. Oh, Abe, tomorrow before you pick up Mr. Sloan at the doctor, could you just go to the A&P and get me some mace for his birthday cake? He always notices when I leave out the mace.
Mother, I think that's in your imagination. I have no recollection of my daddy doing this.
And you weren't married to him for 47 years, were you? Oh, and pick me up some bouillon cubes when you get the mace, Abel. Abel.
How was your physical exam, sir?
I don't know how he made it through medical school. A man's an idiot. And his equipment, for heaven's sakes, doesn't even work properly. His scale's easily 10 pounds off.
I'm sorry to hear that, sir.
I don't know who has professional standards nowadays. He said I was in fine shape for my age.
Oh, that's good news.
For my age? What did he expect to find when I walked into his overpriced examination room? A decrepit specimen on the verge of collapse? You're in fine shape for your age. The nerve of some people, just because I'm turning 49.
At least 49 isn't 50.
But it's my 50th year.
I beg your pardon.
The first day of your life is the beginning of the first year of your life. So when you're 1 year old, you've completed your first year and begun your second. So your 49th birthday is the beginning of your 50th year on Earth.
I hadn't thought about it like that, sir.
How old are you?
50.
So you're actually starting your 51st year.
Let's get out of this house as soon as possible. The old man is on a tear.
About what?
He's worried about growing old.
Oh, he gets that way every year on his birthday.
It's worse this year than I've ever seen it. I don't know why people just can't take growing old in stride.
Neither do I. Oh, where's the mace?
You forgot. And your mother's bouillon?
We'll pick some up on the way home.
Yes, we will.
What was that tone for?
No tone, just stating a fact. We will pick some up on the way home.
You think I'm losing my memory? I heard that in your tone of voice.
Well, if you heard that, Abel Davis, you'd best get your hearing checked. And your memory.
What? What did you say?
I said we better hurry up before the store closes.
time is it?
7:15.
Oh, I'm so tired. I don't know what's the matter with me.
What's the matter with you is that you're so tired. Sleep late.
So many things to do.
The world will not come to an end. This house will not burn down if you stay in bed for a few hours.
I didn't say it would.
You act as if it would, forever telling us how the cow ate the cabbage.
What a terrible thing to say.
The truth sometimes hurts.
I'd like to hear a for instance.
Every other sentence out of your mouth is a for instance. How to iron the clothes, how to hang the wash, how to do the dishes, how to do this, how to do that. Yeah, I actually heard you explaining to Charlie that the toilet paper should come over the top.
I should.
It can.
It's the right way to do it.
It's one way to do it, and a very good way to do it, and maybe even the best way to do it. But it's not the only way to do it. You're no great shakes to be around when you're tired. Get some sleep, please. I don't remember anyone telling me we had a dinner engagement.
Oh, I distinctly remember telling Abe to tell you.
I don't distinctly remember Abe telling me.
It must have slipped my mind, sir. Here we are.
Where are we?
Pearl Roadhouse.
I don't want to eat here.
Sure you do.
I can say with absolute certainty I don't want to eat here.
Then we'll dance the night away.
I don't want to dance the night away.
Darling, it didn't slip Abe's mind at all. He was in on the secret. We're having a little surprise birthday party for you.
A party? Mm-hmm. I don't want one. In there?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was a very nice gesture, but if you had told me you were planning a party, I would have told you not to have it here.
If we had told you, it wouldn't have been a surprise. And the last time you were here, you had a wonderful time. The Leveres and the Hilbrecks are already inside.
Abe, keep the car warm. We'll be right out.
Park the car and get yourself something to eat.
Now, Michael, act surprised and try to have a good time. Surprise! Happy birthday, Michael!
Happy birthday, Michael. You gonna work a day over 40.
Beautiful. Thank you, Larry. Were you surprised? Of course he was surprised. You had no trouble finding the place.
Oh, good. I'm glad you're all here. What'll it be, folks? Oh, do you think that your bartender could make a palatable martini? I'll guarantee it. And you, sir?
Scotch on the rocks.
Oh, it's your birthday. Make it a double. Make it your best. Double Scotch rocks. 12 years old. Happy birthday, sir.
Thank you.
Oh, boy, he's a jolly good fellow.
Why?
Jolly good fellow.
Yes, right away.
I'll cover for me. I've got to get out of here.
Any other night I would, kiddo, but that was Ann on the phone. She's sick at home and there's no one else to look after her. So wish the fat cat a happy birthday for me, will you? Bed.
Could get up the stairs.
Oh, shh, you're okay. You're okay. Come here. Oh, you're okay. Oh, Mikey needs a new diety. What's the matter, Mother?
Don't scare the baby.
Ann, you're scaring me. What's the matter?
I have a fever and hardly any strength at all.
You wore yourself out. You probably gave yourself the flu. Did you call Dr. McGee?
Yes. I'd have taken Michael upstairs, but I couldn't.
He's okay. You're okay, aren't you? Look, come.
I have a hard time moving my neck, Al. You know what they say when you can't move your neck.
Don't presume the worst. Dr. McGee will give you some penicillin.
Presto, you'll be your old self again. Kvetching and telling everybody what to do. Come on.
I've read a lot about it.
So have we all. Doesn't mean you haven't. Come on.
Northeastern Ohio. In the Cleveland metropolitan area, there have been more than 280 cases of polio confirmed, making 1946 the worst epidemic for the dreaded disease since the polio epidemic of 1936.
If you do the socks like that, it wears out the elastic.
I've always done them like this.
It's better to fold them in half and lay them in the drawer folded in half.
They'll get separated.
No, they won't.
Yes, they will. You know, it's been almost 45 minutes since you called. Why do doctors always keep you waiting? What if I tie them in a knot?
When the kids did that, we couldn't get them separated. Also, they wrinkle.
I'll make it a loose knot.
Then they will get separated. Just fold them.
Hi, Ann.
Hello, Dr. McGee.
Right in the nick of time, Doctor. You saved her life just as I was about to strangle her. Only kidding.
On the square.
Now we'll be out in the hall. Folding socks, if you need me.
Okay, let's see what's the matter.
Hey, Dave. What a surprise.
Well, hello.
What, you don't remember who I am?
Of course I remember you. I trained you.
Yeah, you showed me how to get this food out without poisoning the customers. Yeah, now that looks good.
It's for the Sloan party.
Fine. Ah, well, what can I get you, Abe?
Any kind of sandwich, Harold.
That's Johnny.
Johnny. Right.
Jelly, Jelly?
What a good idea. Why won't you dance with me?
Because I don't feel like dancing.
If you insist on being a wet blanket, I'm going to get one of these young men to step out on the dance floor with me and put you to shame.
Go right ahead.
Excuse me.
Oh, Jeff Metcalf, how are you?
Fine, sir, Mr. Sloan. Miss Sloan, I just wanted to wish a happy birthday to a true Blue Indians fan.
Well, that I am, and I thank you.
That's very sweet of you, Jeff. I'm looking for a dance partner.
Oh, I'd love to, but I'm on the job.
Scotch rocks, dry martini.
Say, talk about a small world. Who thought you two Indian fans would ever meet?
Beg pardon?
Jeff, you have an order up.
Well, thanks, I'll get
Who's
it.
an Indians fan?
I don't quite.
Isn't
You don't
everybody?
recognize each other? You met on the train to Detroit for our last game of the season. Judy, Mr. Sloan.
Michael Sloan.
Judy Owen.
You didn't recognize each other?
Well, I certainly remember the train to Detroit. How are you, Miss Owen?
I'm fine, thanks. It surely is a small world.
It's good to see you again.
It's good to see you again, too, sir.
Judy, this is my wife, Ruth. Ruth, this is Judy Owen.
Hello, Miss Owen.
Oh, I'm pleased to meet you, Mrs. Sloan. Are you also an Indians fan?
Oh, yes, but not as rabid a fan as my husband. Now, don't make him self-conscious about not recognizing you. He's already worried he's falling apart at the ripe old age of 49.
Oh, I wouldn't expect.
Well, I wouldn't worry, Mr. Sloan. Judy didn't recognize you either, and she's not even 30.
Which only goes to show it can happen to anyone.
You're as young as you feel, I always say.
Now, did you hear that? Take your poor wife out onto the dance floor before you turn 50.
Did I just make a very, very, very big mistake?
I don't know what you're talking about, Slugger, unless you mean the mistake of leaving your order in the window long enough so it gets cold.
Judy said I had an order up.
Judy's just probably trying to get you away from our station.
Hey,
Jeff Metcalf.
oh, you're not working here yet.
No, just waiting on the Sloans.
It's a good thing. They'll need a driver tonight.
You had a season batting 267.
297.
That's right, 297. Congratulations.
Thanks.
I hope you're not going to have any problems next season on account of that. Your accident on that barnstorming tour.
I'll be right as rain comes spring. Put money on that.
Take care. I knew he batted 297. I don't know why I said 267.
Hey, you're getting old, eh? Well, see, in your mind, the 9 turned upside down. Happens to me sometime.
Everything's going to be okay. Take her over to St. Anne's right away. I'll telephone ahead to tell them you're coming.
What's wrong with her?
I can't tell without tests.
Seems like the flu to me.
Could be.
If you get there before I do, give this to the admissions nurse.
Spinal tap. You think it's polio?
Let's hope for the best.
It's good talking to you, too. Yes, indeed, we will. I'll tell you why I called. Mother was putting together an album, and some of the photographs are hard to put a date on. And, yes, particularly, we were wondering exactly when did Daddy begin losing his memory? That early. I could have swore he was over 65 when it happened. That can't be right. That can't be right. 50? Well, was that a doctor's opinion, or was that just the way Aunt Josie talked about it? Was there any medicine that helped him?
Fun.
Yes, it was. I'll order some refills and I'll meet you back at the table. I'd like to order another round.
I'll bring it to your table.
I don't want another round. I just ordered it so I'd have the occasion to apologize to you.
For what?
For not having the grace to tell everyone I knew you.
No need to apologize for that. Why open a can of worms unless you're fishing for trouble, I always say.
I should at least explain I didn't know I was coming here. The party was a surprise, and as a result, I didn't plan ahead. And then when I saw you, I got tongue-tied. And of course, when I didn't introduce you when we first arrived...
Oh, it would have looked pretty fishy for us to greet each other later like long-lost friends. It makes perfect sense to me.
If it does, it's more than I deserve.
Don't make more of this than you ought to, Gramps. You and I are just a couple of Indians fans who found seats together to watch the tribe end up in 6th place. But this ain't a movie. So there's no third reel to the story. Have your drinks there in a jiffy.
I've just started putting the tiniest bit of mashed banana in his formula. And he loves it. Make sure the banana's ripe, but not too ripe, not soft in the middle, because it'll upset his tummy. When he starts sitting up, you start with the pablum, and you mix it with water first. I'll have Dr. Champion's nurse write this all down for you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna starve the baby.
Mr. Kahn. I'm sorry to have to tell you that your wife has polio.
Remember, we grow too soon old and too late smart. Michael, be good. And if you can't be good, be careful.
Good night, you two.
Good night.
Come on, honey, let's get
Happy birthday, darling.
What? We already have season tickets to the Indians.
These are better seats.
Oh, they certainly are. Where did you get them?
I leave no stone unturned for the man I love.
Thank you.
Leave a big tip, darling. That waitress gave us very good service.
never seen you drink on the job.
Oh, the party's over, Slugger. Haven't you noticed?
Where'd she catch it?
I don't know.
Then what good are the doctors? You...
Here, read this.
It's a virus, Jeff.
They'd like us to stay in the house for at least a week. All of us? Oh, well, we were all exposed, and it's very contagious, especially if the weather warms up again. They don't want us to infect other people.
So how sick is she?
Well, you know as well as I do, your mom has a will of iron.
That's not an answer.
The polio virus attacks the nervous system and renders various parts of the body paralyzed.
So far, it's only in her legs.
Once the virus is no longer active, the muscles may respond to therapy, or...
She could recover without a trace.
Or?
Or the patient may experience permanent muscle paralysis. If the virus paralyzes the lungs, the patient stops breathing.
But they have the iron
She could
lung.
die.
Go easy, Mutt.
Dear God.
They suggest we clean the house from top to bottom. And, get rid of anything that's been lying around in a wet area. And wash our hands a lot. And, let's start using separate towels. And we have to make sure that the baby isn't exposed to any drafts. And that anything that touches him is clean and dry. Because he's the most susceptible of all.
I'd go crazy if they put me inside of one of those iron lungs.
They say the people who do get to use those iron lungs are grateful because it lets them breathe again. Thank the Lord, neither one of us has been in contact with Mr. and Mrs. Khan lately. We haven't, have we?
Not that I recall.
I recall that your employers took the Khans, one of your accomplices. Who knows what they did when they visited? Of course, they greeted Mrs. Khan. No doubt they
shook her hand. Oh, my. I think I shook her hand when we dropped it off.
For the life of me, I can't remember whether we did. We were only there a few minutes.
But did we touch either of them?
I don't remember. Oh, maybe the doorknob. No, not even the doorknob. I distinctly remember Al Khan let us in.
Do I feel warm to you?
I need the thermometer. Occupied. I must have the thermometer. And I've told you the lavatory's occupied. Thank you very much. Caroline, it's not for me. It's for the baby. Why? I must see if Emma has a fever. You think it's polio? It's just a cold. Don't touch me! Don't touch that! It's mine. Now I'll have to throw it away. You've exposed your baby to it, haven't you? It's just a cold. How many times have you dragged that poor child over to the Khan's house to visit Charlie, huh? That'll teach you to leave other women's husbands alone.
How long will it remain closed?
We don't know yet. I only hope they come back when we're open again. They all know two of our bartenders are related to Mrs. Khan.
Which leads me to ask if you've had any symptoms.
I'm fit as a fiddle.
At the first sign of a sore throat, I want you to go to my physician, Dean Sadler. Tell him I referred you.
Thank you, but I'm...
Please, don't hesitate. Too many adults are coming down with this thing.
Don't worry, I'm not a martyr. At the first sign of a cold, I'll be at the doctor's.
Well, then, good. That's why I'm glad you're well.
Thank you. Bye.
Goodbye.
You shouldn't do your cleats here. Do them down the basement or out in the porch or something. Who left the milk out?
Not me.
Not I.
It could go bad before we know it and go to waste, or worse, somebody will drink it and get sick.
Charlie apologizes for leaving it out.
I do not. I would think the last thing this family would want to joke about would be germs. And Linda, if you ball the socks up like that, the elastic wears out. Just fold them and then lay them flat.
Yes, Mother.
That's not funny. I'll get it. Hello?
Yes? Yes. Thanks. Mom's gonna make it. She's coming home.
It's been more than a week. We escaped this time.
We got lucky.
Only one good thing comes from a polio epidemic. Makes you realize life is short.
It certainly does. Miss Owen,
Mr. Sloan?
what a stroke of luck to find you there. Does this mean the roadhouse is reopened?
No, I'm just taking inventory in anticipation of that blessed event.
And how have you been feeling?
I'm fine, no symptoms.
Oh, that's a relief.
What can I do for you, Mr. Sloan?
I've misplaced my winter gloves and was wondering if perhaps I'd left them at your establishment after the birthday party.
What do they look like?
Black leather, fur lined.
Hang on, let me check our lost and found pile. Mr. Sloan?
Yes?
They're here. I'll mail them to you.
Oh, good. No, you don't have to mail them. I'll come pick them up.
Well, it'll be easier. They'll get there much...
I need them now. I'd rather pick them up myself.
But we're closed.
For business, yes, but you're there now.
Yes, but I'm almost finished with the inventory. I tell you what. You go ahead and come over, and if for any reason I have to leave before you get here, I'll leave them in a bag outside the back door.
That's a good idea. That way you won't be inconvenienced. They will be safe there?
Oh, sure.
Well, then, I'll be most grateful.
Don't mention it. Bye.
Goodbye.
This is the part your insurance doesn't cover.
I just lost my second job. Can I pay this in installments?
Normally, we prefer payment in full, but you can contact the business office to make special arrangements.
Thank you. Has my wife seen this?
I haven't shown it to her.
Don't, please. And don't mention it.
As you wish.
Where have you been? I'm going stir crazy. Thank you. Now get me home.
Patience, Mother, patience.
I want to see my baby.
First, Daddy gets a kiss.
Mr. Sloan.
You're still here.
Here you are.
Can I buy you a drink?
We're closed.
Can I buy you a drink?
But I could get in trouble.
Can I buy you a drink?
Scotch rocks, the good stuff.
Make mine neat.
Did you leave those gloves here on purpose?
By the time I got back to the car, I knew I had left them. I don't know why I didn't come right back in and get them. Does that constitute on purpose?
Here's mud in your eye.
Now, I'll have one on the rocks.
Don't.
A harmless turn on the dance floor.
Nothing we're doing tonight is harmless.
We could die of polio tomorrow. What's the merit in being prudent?
That's true, always. When the things you've planned need a helping hand.
Gloria, what did you do with my rose dress gloves?
I didn't do anything.
You did. You borrowed them from me on October the 7th to wear with that blue dress when you went to the movies. You were able stayed out past 11 after promising me you'd be back early.
You're right. I did. I'll look for them.
I wish you would.
I'm ready.
For what?
We're having dinner at the Bear, 6:30 sharp. Thought I'd forget, didn't you?
It is 6:30. Tomorrow.
Oh, no.
Tomorrow, Abel.
This is terrible. You're married to a man who's going senile at the age of 51.
50, honey. And you're not senile. You're just forgetful because we have a lot on our minds.
But it's in the family. Look what happened to my daddy.
You act as if you're only your father's son. You're your mother's son, too. And I speak from experience. That woman never forgets a thing, especially not something that I might have done. And that includes some mistake I may have made 15 or 20 years ago.
That's true.
Don't I know
That
it?
is true. I could as likely have my mother's memory as my daddy's. Just think of that. That's good news. That's wonderful news. I should have realized that very plain fact before now. Why didn't I think of it sooner? What's wrong with my brain that it didn't occur to me before now?
Abel, do you remember my birthday?
Yes.
Do you remember our anniversary?
Yes.
That is all you need to remember.
Not for just an hour, not for just a day, not for just a year, but always.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
And mine. I hope I haven't made a fool of myself.
Oh, I don't think you have. But then again, I'm a fool for letting you in here, so what do I know?
Not for just an hour, not for just a day, not for just a year, but always.
That cake is an embarrassment. You should have let me buy one.
Mom doesn't like store-bought cakes.
Oh, Lord, she's here.
Hey, Mutt, where should I put this stuff?
On the mud porch. You idiot.
Shut your yap. It was your fault.
Charlie, get in here and bring the tablecloth to cover up the stain you made.
Maybe we should cut that cake up into pieces before your mom
Don't
comes in.
touch this cake. Mom will love it because I made it. I'm gonna go help them.
Linda, hurry up!
Welcome home.
You made me a cake.
I forgot to grease the pan, so I sort of had to scrape it out, but the pan is soaking in the backyard. I'll get you a piece, huh?
Welcome home, Miss Kay. You look swell.
Thanks, Charlie. The table looks so pretty.
Well, you might as well know now, Miss Kay, I ruined the table by putting a hot cup of coffee on it, which is why we're using the tablecloth.
Charlie.
To cover the ring. But don't worry, I'll have it refinished just like new, and it won't cost you a cent. In fact, I'm going to raise my own rent until Al gets another job.
You'll have to pay for that mixing bowl you broke also.
Thank you, Charlie, the town crier.
You broke that. What did I say? I said I'd pay more rent is all.
That's very generous of you, Charlie. You don't need to.
Welcome home, Mother.
You sure you're up to it?
I'm sure.
Listen, don't worry about a thing. I will get another job, and the hospital will let us pay off in installments. And I promise to keep Jeff and Charlie in the basement before they do any more damage.
Life is too short to worry about the damned hospital bill. You can break as many dishes as you like. And you have my permission to burn the table if it pleases you. It doesn't matter to me. You know what matters to me? I will give you 3 guesses. And the first 2 don't count.
Famine stalks the roads of China, leaving dead and dying in its wake. In Hunan province, weeds and grass are hungrily eaten. Relief from America. UNRWA supplies of flour, rice, powdered milk from the U.S. and Canada. Many of these children walk 12 to 15 miles for a bowl of soft rice and powdered milk. One baby's smile like this is payment enough for what little sacrifice may be needed from our bountiful North America. Hands of children reach for bread. Theirs is an appeal to the heart of humanity.